Breakfast Central on News Central today, Monday, the 25th day of November 2019. Let's go straight to some business, shall we? And we're going straight to talk about interesting one that's big news that happened from the week as we follow the latest from SAA's signing the wage deal of non-striking workers. And we're joined by Damilola Olupona, a financial analyst who's going to be joining us for this one. Damilola, welcome back to the show. And let's talk about South African Airways, SAA. Now, they've signed a deal with a union not involved in a strike that has crippled the indebted carrier. And we hear that it's given its members a 5.9% pay rise backdated to April. We hear the wage deal is subjected to the airline securing additional funds. So what are the possibilities of the airline securing these funds that are being talked about here?
The possibilities are very slim at the moment, owing to the fact that, like I mentioned the last time when I was here, that South African Airways has not been making profit, I think, since 2011. So which means the company has little or no funds, to play with. And over the last 3 years, they've been consistently getting support from the government. And just recently as well, the Minister of Public Enterprise, came out to mention that the government will not be providing further support, to the airline. I think over the last 3 years as well, we've seen government support to the tune of about $1.4 billion, which is huge. So as regards source of funds, is a bit dicey for them. And just recently as well, S&P's, downgraded South African Airways, their investment rating, below investment grade, which means it might be difficult for them, to source for funding from the public. So if you put all of these factors together, it just points to...
and these funds is basically what this wage deal is really subject about, because they're looking to... and it's a part of the non-striking unions that are trying to, get on their side, at least for now, a 5.9 pay rise.
Pay rise, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's, I think it's a bit difficult for them as to go on. But the good thing is, at least the union were able to come down a bit. Most of them were proposing about 8% pay rise. But for now, they've, I think, they've looked at things in terms of current realities.
Yeah.
And they've reduced the expectation to 5.9%, which it's a big good on the company side. So it's not so much of a burden. But like I said before, the major concern for them is getting funding, and over the next few months, it will be good to just see how that will play out. But it's a bit difficult from where they stand. All
right, so that's it for as we follow that one regarding the South Africa Airways. Still sticking with South Africa, we hear that the annual inflation in that country, the rate has dropped to its lowest in almost 9 years, and providing some room for the country's central bank to really ease up policies there. Well, it looks like, well, in Nigeria, the National Bureau of Statistics announced that the country's annual inflation rate rose to 16.61% this month. It's highest inflation rate in 8 months. So, well, both countries, South Africa is having a drop in the inflation rate. Nigeria's one is rising 11.61%. What does this mean for both economies?
For both countries, inflation trajectory, is just towing different parts. For South Africa, majorly, headline inflation printed at 3.1%, which is an improvement from the 4.5% we saw in the month of September. And like you rightly mentioned, this provides leeway, to the Monetary Policy Committee, to ease the benchmark interest rate, come Thursday at their meeting. And further supporting this claim is the fact that over the last few quarters, we've seen South African economic growth, dwindle. And, most economists has called for an easing monetary posture, on the part of the monetary policy. So I just think this provides scope for that, and we may actually see them ease, come Thursday. But on the other side, Nigerian inflation, pushed
11.61%.
It was 11.61%. It was 37 basis points up. The major pressure point was coming from the food basket. Core inflation was dipped but the food basket was up about 57 basis points, in the month of October. And what exacerbated that picture was the fact that the recent border closure, announced by federal government, that pressure continued to impact on food prices.
Okay.
So from August up until now, we've seen food prices, go up. And that has pressured, the food baskets of the inflation index. But what you typically find is in October, that's when we have the main harvest season. So you're expected to see, food prices, come down on that front. But because of the pressures on the border, which has pushed food prices up, we've seen that muted the impact of the bumper harvest, we've seen in October.
Wow.
Yeah. So in terms of impact, I think consumer wallet will remain pressured.
Okay.
And but from the monetary standpoint, we don't expect them to raise interest rate yet because our inflation is structurally driven.
So it's basically not good news at this rate.
Yeah, it's not good news.
Can we say this is dependent upon when the border gets opened for Nigeria, and we wait until March to see whether it goes down for the inflation rate?
Well, we expect that come January, we might see an end to the border closure.
Yeah, because this is we're going into the Ember month. This is Christmas, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any budget from the federal government of Nigeria.
I think the important thing is there's still pressure points. We are expecting that come next year, we'll see the implementation of the new VAT rate, come on board.
Okay.
That would pressure inflation as well. We're also hearing that we might see hike in electricity tariff, come next year.
Wow.
So that will also pressure inflation as well. So going into 2020, I think I see an upward trajectory for inflationary numbers going forward.
All right. Still sticking with business in Nigeria, where the country's former Attorney General Mohammed Adoke was arrested in Dubai after a warrant was issued earlier in the year as part of the oil industry's biggest corruption scandals. And former Attorney General, oil, and it's all part of over the oil deal. So where are we going with this one?
I think it's not good news because this cast a layer of cloud over our judicial system in Nigeria. And but the good side of it is Nigeria's oil sector, has been laced with corruption, and it seemed like this administration has been bringing some of the culprits to book. So it's expected that if we see more of this going forward, then we might begin to see savings, in terms of our oil dividends, and these savings can be translated into probably providing basic infrastructural development or providing support for currency stability. So I think it's a good one on the part of the law enforcement agency who nabbed them. But then this is not the final episode of the whole thing. I think the case will be taken to court, and the courts will be giving their verdict as to whether it's guilty or innocent.
All right. We're also tracking this story, is the one about Air Botswana to lay off half of its staff, and the latest one regarding Air Peace CEO in Nigeria, or Yema, for fraud allegations. And this is a U.S. indictment. We remember a couple of months ago, he was basically almost like a national hero in the country. And with this latest one, I think there have been comments about, he released comments about having nothing to do with this. But this really casts a shadow on for Air Peace's business operations for this man, the CEO of Air Peace.
Yeah, the business has grown over the last few years. And over the weekend, it was shocking to see that that sort of allegation was linked to him. But like I said, I'll just leave it to the judicial system, to find out and for us to see where this whole thing goes. But for then, I just feel like the authorities, need to do their background check, because this is not the first time we are seeing major business owners in Nigeria, being tagged to issues of corruption. So across international basis on international front, and like we all know, we've been seeing debt of foreign capital, in Nigeria, and with all of these allegations, coming on board, the foreign guys seeing these things, it might be difficult for them to bring their investment in Nigeria, because the sense is the system is laced with corruption and all of that. So it will be good for those in the authorities, to do their background check before giving sensitive license.
Do you think this is going to affect Airpeace in any way in terms of their stocks? Because we're going into the Ember months. Airpeace looks like, the one-stop destination if you're going to get to and fro in this Ember months in Nigeria.
Well, true. I think for now, it might not affect anything until we see any court case, placing restriction on major asset of the company. Then that's when we'll now see the impact of that. But I think for now it's still business as usual. And in the short term, we won't really see any negative.
Speaking about business as usual, it is still business as usual. Thank you so much, Damilola. It's always good to have you on the show. Yes, there's still more to come right here. Breakfast Central, News Central.